The honourable member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
$2,600, Madam Speaker. $2,600 was, according to his testimony, the hourly rate earned by one Kristian Firth on the Arrive Can app, what many people are calling the Arrive Scam scandal. Simple question that I asked to the minister and didn't get a response. Does he think that $2,600 an hour was a reasonable rate? So I'm back in the House at midnight, Madam Speaker, to ask the same question again. Kristian Firth, with his partner at a two-person company, worked out of their basement. They got this massive contract to build the Arrive Can app. And they didn't do any work on the app. They simply received the contract and subcontracted. And for their pains of getting the contract and then going on LinkedIn to find people, people who actually did IT work and could actually build an app, for finding those people on LinkedIn, the company GC Strategies, Kristian Firth, got $2,600 an hour. This is at a time when many Canadians are struggling and Canadians are paying higher taxes than ever before. This government is showing such disdain for their money that they are giving money to these well-connected insider friends of the government to simply receive contracts and subcontract. Again, at a rate of $2,600 an hour, according to Kristian Firth's testimony. And based on some of the surrounding numbers, I would say that's actually a fairly conservative estimate. Conservative not in the good sense, but a conservative estimate, $2,600 per hour. So, Madam Speaker, I'm repeating the question several times because I want to make sure the Parliamentary Secretary is without excuse, that he will in fact stand up and answer the question that has been asked, the question that the Minister declined to answer. This is the question. $2,600 per hour was the rate, according to his own testimony, that Kristian Firth earned on the Arrive Can app. Not for building the app, not for designing the app, but simply for going on LinkedIn and finding other people to build the app, something that the public service could have likely done themselves. Does the Parliamentary Secretary believe that $2,600 per hour was a reasonable rate for Kristian Firth to be earning? Again, he is without excuse. I have asked the question several times. Does the Parliamentary Secretary believe that $2,600 per hour was a reasonable rate for Kristian Firth to earn on the Arrive Scam app? Does he believe $2,600 was a reasonable rate? I await the Parliamentary Secretary's response to my question.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to thank the member from Sherwood Park for their question, and I want to stress that this is an issue that we are not taking lightly. Let me first say that I'm very proud of the public service who worked so diligently to ensure that the government could deliver services and programs to Canadians during the pandemic. At the same time, it is clear that something went wrong with the procurement of professional services related to Arrive Can, and our government is extremely concerned about the issues that have come to light. I want the member to know that we have and are taking action to improve our procurement processes, and we are holding companies accountable for their misconduct while protecting federal expenditures. With regards to reports by the Auditor General and the Procurement Ombudsman, Public Services and Procurement Canada, or PSPC, as the central purchaser for the government, has already taken several steps to implement their recommendations and improve the processes. For several years now, the department has been making progress in its plan to modernize procurement, which has long been a priority. Madam Speaker, right now the government is firmly focused on improving and further strengthening processes, especially when it comes to IT procurement. We've been working for months to do just that. This includes strengthening guidance and training for those involved in the procurement process. PSPC has also improved evaluation requirements to ensure resources are properly qualified and is requiring increased transparency for suppliers around their price and their use of subcontractors. In addition, they are improving documentation when awarding contracts and issuing task authorizations. They're also clarifying work requirements and activities. Madam Speaker, and specifically which activities and which projects are worked on by contractors. In addition, PSPC is updating its guidance to help other departments and agencies in procuring responsibly when using our procurement instruments under their own authorities. We know that fundamentally improving IT procurement requires us to ensure those processes are clear and transparent and that the roles, responsibilities, and rules are understood and respected and adhered to. To that end, the department is going even further to strengthening the integrity in procurement by creating a new Office of Supplier Integrity and Compliance, which we know will help the government better respond to misconduct. We owe it to Canadians to preserve the integrity of federal government procurement. That's why we're taking action now to strengthen and improve procurement so that what happened in the case of ArriveCan never happens again. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
Madam Speaker, maybe they should open a new office for answering the question that was asked, because I asked it three times at least, and the member opposite chose not to answer. It's a very simple question. Canadians are struggling. They're seeing the incredible waste and corruption within this NDP Liberal government. And in particular, they are shocked that as part of the Arrive scam scandal, over $2,500 per hour were paid out to these well-connected insider consultants. If you can't answer the basic question about whether you think a $2,600 an hour fee is reasonable, then how can we ever see meaningful improvement under this government? And I don't think we will. But I'll try one last time to the Parliamentary Secretary for Veterans Affairs, who's the one here answering the questions. Does he think that $2,600 per hour was a reasonable rate? Yes or no?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Madam Speaker, we are committed to preserving the integrity of the federal government procurement, and that's precisely what our government is doing. Public Services and Procurement has already taken several steps to implement the recommendations of both the Auditor General and the Procurement Ombudsman. It is strengthening guidance and training in federal procurement and making great progress in our plan to modernize processes. We will continue to explore ways to improve our procurement processes, specifically when it comes to IT procurement. We know that the newly established Office of the Supplier Integrity and Compliance will help the government better respond to misconduct and further safeguard the integrity of the federal procurements. Thank you, Madam Speaker.